Let's go. Hello, where did it all start? J-Lo.
Jordan.
Go.
Yo, so it all started me and Curtis doing an idea.
As a
what?
I was gonna say, like, we came up with it ages ago. Like,
Oh yeah, we were. It was initially a joke. We were like, yeah, we'll just do an endurance piece, and we'll just play video games. But then, yeah, that's basically what our idea was. So that's kind of where it all started. It was just a joke that we were like, hang on a minute, this could be a performance. So we just, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what were your ideas / intentions originally?
Right. Our intentions. That was really aggressive. Our intentions were to make people aware of, like, not really, like, I don't want to say like the damage, but like the effect. Yeah, that like YouTube can have on people. Now, YouTube, like, don't get me wrong, YouTube isn't all bad, you know what I mean? But we were gonna focus more on the sort of like bad influence that YouTube has on people. Pardon me. And yeah, we were just gonna focus on that, and sort of like that was our research. We'll get to that in research.
Yeah. What research did you use?
Oh, that's the next one.
Yeah. Well, there's also another, but this is base research.
Yeah. So we actually researched YouTubers like Dan TDM. Don't worry, not Dan. Dan TDM. PewDiePie. Madison's annoyed. Show that face.
Beautiful.
Merc Music. Tverskus.
Yeah. Yeah. So, did you look at any statistics for YouTube, kind of how much they make, kind of thing?
I think it said PewDiePie. Oh, how much did it? It said something like PewDiePie has, like, he makes over, let's say over like 2 million, because I don't remember.
I think it was more than that, but yeah.
No, yeah, it was definitely more than that, but I'm saying it was definitely, he makes over 2 million a year.
Yeah, so basically you looked at, like, YouTubers, the money they make, you know, advertisers kind of thing.
Yeah.
What other kind of artists, designers, practitioners did you gain inspiration from, and why, like, kind of outside of the YouTube spectrum? Like, if you went to see any shows?
Go away, peasant. We went to go see a show at...
Chloe Kardashian.
Yeah, but where was it though?
Oh, was that Manchester?
Yeah, but what's it called? Sheena Silence.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I hope that's the name.
Yeah, that's it.
Right, we went to go see a performance called Khloe Kardashian. And in the show, they had, I remember the set, they had like a stage on one side, and they had like a TV on the other side.
Yeah.
And every so often, and they had like a projector, and the projector would be like flashing up with things as things were being said on the stage, as the TV was flashing up with things. The projector was telling the story.
Yeah.
But everything that was happening in front of the projector was distracting from the story.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted to show in ours. Like, we took in that because we wanted to use the TVs at the side as, like, you know...
distraction.
Yeah, like, we were the distraction, but the TVs were what was really important. Like, the facts on the TVs and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I just thought it was a really good
So, how effective was your research? Kind of, even though you didn't end up doing the show, how effective was it in terms of planning the show? Like, what you were going to put on the TVs and stuff?
Right, no, yeah. We would, like, just gathering information at the point where we were. Like, statistics of how they make the money, how much money they make, what makes them so popular. Like, we found out that YouTubers that do more child-friendly content tend to have like tend to make more money.
Yeah.
Because PewDiePie is the most subscribed person on YouTube, but he doesn't make the most money. The most money is Dan TDM because he doesn't swear, which means more advertisements get played on his videos and he can be put on the front page of YouTube more easily.
Yeah. Okay. Describe the part of your research that became the most relevant and explain why.
I'd say that. What?
Is that one? I think so.
Yeah. I'd say because
that's what we.
That's kind of something we go back to, and
there was also character research.
Yeah, character research because my character. Sorry, I should have explained. My character was going to be more sort of like a laid back sort of, kind of like my personality. It'd make it easier to play in a
improvisational.
Yeah, it'd make it easier to play in an improvisational thing.
Yeah.
What? Sorry, say the question again.
The part of your research that became the most relevant for you.
Yeah, and we also looked at something, me and Curtis, which said 70% of something like 70% when it was like 65 something.
Yeah.
It was a high amount.
It was over 50.
A ridiculous amount of kids, instead of wanting to do any other profession, they wanted to do YouTube as a profession.
Yeah.
Which I can understand why. They'd be doing something that they like. But
do you find any similarities between that and kind of acting? Like people used to want, like reality TV show stars and
I
musicians?
think some YouTube videos are scripted.
No, but I'm saying, obviously some of them are, but I'm saying, do you find that the kids wanting to be YouTubers is similar to how 15 years ago they wanted to be musicians, actors, kind of thing, like fame, to attain fame?
Right, here's how I see it.
If that makes sense.
Here's how I see it. If I say it like this, it'll sound really weird, but it's because I'm like that.
Okay.
I see sort of YouTube as... Thank you, Madison.
I suppose.
I see YouTube as sort of like rap.
Hip hop music?
Yeah, so like, it's not really the job they're interested in, it's more the lifestyle they're interested in.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, they don't, I don't think kids realise
it's
how stressful.
Means to an end for them.
Yeah, because like how stressful like that is. Because you have to appeal to an audience, you have to keep appealing to an audience, you have to give the audience what they want.
Yeah.
And that's hard because with your sub crowd growing, you become less connected with your audience.
And you have to
sort of,
you have to look at trends to stay relevant and
yeah.
stuff. Okay. So how do you feel the tutors and your peers provided influence to your early ideas?
I think it was Daniela who actually made us do the callback to the Khloe Kardashian piece. I think she mentioned something about it. And I was like, oh Curtis, we could do the TV thing from the Khloe Kardashian piece. And I felt like that was just a good idea. Because I know me and you don't really like to get straight to the point with stuff.
Yeah.
We like to make it complicated. So, yeah.
What about peer influence of other people giving feedbacks? Any influence? I know we didn't really do much.
People told us to look at other YouTubers.
Yeah.
We should have looked at other YouTubers.
Well, yeah. This is kind of a hard one to answer because we didn't manage to get to it, but did you plan and cover all eventualities?
Nah.
We didn't really get that
No,
far,
not really. I guess we would have done, no?
You think you would have done?
I think we would have done.
Okay.
Like, all eventualities. Like how it had turned
technicality, we can't really say yes or no.
I mean, we were looking at staging and stuff. Sorry, what?
It's like
any issues you might, we can't really say
like
yes or no.
like technical
because we just don't know.
Like wires and stuff.
So we'll just do. You want to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
That one we can't really wait. If you did.
I mean, we did like the staging and stuff though.
Yeah. So we got. So did you manage to complete your project objectives? We managed to complete the ones in the planning stage, I'd say. Like we were ready to start
It was critical reflection.
Oh, sorry. Right. I was answering the question. Go on. Sorry. Did you manage to complete?
Yeah. Which question are we on? Did you manage to complete your
project objectives?
No.
You don't think so?
And we'll go back to the very first question in like 2 minutes. Anyway.
Yeah. If you didn't, what went wrong? How did your ideas change? What influenced you to change? This will be where we go back to the beginning.
This will be where I go back.
So, how did your ideas change? What influenced the change?
Right. I wouldn't say my ideas changed. I'd say we had a disagreement. I had a disagreement with my group. Our group ended up splitting up, essentially. So we just ended up going into different groups. So the idea kind of changed into what we was gonna do to us being separate pieces, which was where did it all start?
When this happened, did you think this was a good thing or a bad thing? And then I'll ask you the same thing at the end. But in the mind state that you were at then, did you think this is for the better or this is for the worse?
I don't know, I wasn't really thinking about it at the time. I was just kind of, I was annoyed because I really wanted to do the YouTube one, because I feel like it would have been a really good performance. But it just...
I'll ask you the same thing at the end.
Yeah.
So you joined...
I joined
Mara's group, which is a dance group. So for you in that, where did that start when you joined? How far along were they? Kind of thing.
I think I joined 2 weeks in.
Okay.
I think 2 weeks. So they'd already gotten pretty far without me even there.
So what were you? Did you have any ideas, intentions when you're coming in? How much influence did you want to have on the piece? Did you want to come in and kind of shake it up, or did you want to, come in?
No, I was just kind of. I came in with a sort of mindset of not wanting to do anything, because obviously I still wanted to do the YouTube one. But then after Mara talked to me about it, I figured, hang on a second, this piece is actually, it sounds pretty good, so I guess I'll give my all to it.
Okay.
So I did influence the Chance the Rapper dance, because they were struggling to find choreography and a song. They wanted an upbeat song that they could really just be loose to. So I was like,
okay,
here's this. I was giving feedback and stuff.
Okay. So what I said, so about 4 times. What research did you use in your kind of designers practitioners? What were you inspired by when you joined the group?
Right, okay. Our inspirations for the piece, everyone looks so gloomy and stuff. We'll put the camera over there a second. Look how everyone looks so sad. Are you all okay? Yeah. Audience interaction.
This is a weird stand-up special right now. No one's laughing.
Yeah. It's like Joel McHale.
Right, anyway, sorry, go.
Amy Schumer.
That was pretty funny.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Schumer.
Right, okay, come on. Yeah, so what,
research. We went to, well I didn't, but a big part of the
influence?
Thank you, I knew it began with an I. A big influence of the piece was art, sort of moods that art carries. Tyler keeps looking at me dead in the eyes.
Just focus on the camera.
Yeah.
So what kind of art specific? Do you know any?
I didn't go to the gallery. I joined the group later.
But do you have any art that inspired you that you've seen? Kind of just.
Not that I can think of.
Okay, well,
Right
it's
now,
a dance piece anyway, so what dances did you look at?
we looked at there was a dance that Mara wanted to do with me, which is called Greed by Jade Chinoway and Josh Kalanki, yeah, which is a really hard dance to do. You have to use a rope, and that's just.
What about...
My mind can't dance and use a rope. That's just.
What about older practitioners kind of inspired you? Any of them?
I know. I can hear you. I was pretending to think.
Just edit it out.
Okay. Edit this out.
Michael, we need you to edit something.
Shut up, you love it.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Merce Cunningham.
Okay.
I'd say is a big.
What style of dance, like, would you say you did mostly for this?
I'd say mostly contemporary. We did like contemporary, modern, street. We kind of took influences from every sort of dance style.
Right. Okay. So. Oh, sorry, you're gonna say that.
I was, but I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry.
No, yeah.
How effective was your research in terms of depth, relevance, and variety? Well, you said for variety, you've looked at dance, art, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like research helps me a lot when I'm going in for like a role, or I'm going in for like a dance or whatever, because that can sort of help me like get into the mindset of where they're coming from. So like, it's like if you're choreographing your own dances, it's a little bit harder for people to get where you're coming from. But we also had acting in the piece as well.
Do you feel
to
like
make the story a little bit clearer for people?
You were playing a character?
I was playing a character.
Multiple characters or just one?
I was playing one character.
Okay.
But his personality was kind of a bit bipolar, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know if you would say that's multiple. Would you say that's multiple? If they're bipolar?
Bipolar is just two.
Multiple personality?
Yeah, multiple personality disorder.
What part of your research became most relevant? Why?
Where are we up to?
What this part of your research that became the most relevant? The second one. Did you look at any people who have multiple disorders?
Sorry, I should probably say my character didn't have that.
No, I know, but
it
I'm
just
saying
seemed like that. I did kinda. I suggested the idea to Mara, and she didn't really want to go down there. So.
Okay, so that was the select and reject process.
Yeah.
So, what part was the most relevant to you? Do you think then?
I feel like that helped a bit.
Yeah.
That was sort of the most relevant for me to get into character, because I needed to know where the boundaries were on my character. So my character starts off as like a sort of like a happy guy. He's doesn't really care much about anything, smokes weed, all that type of stuff. But then later on in the performance, after seeing Mara flirt with people and stuff like that, he becomes more.
Just threw something away.
Okay. He becomes sort of more controlling, and like so it kind of not really like bipolar, but he gradually.
So there's an evolution in his character. Yeah. Okay. Right. That reminds me of Walter White from Breaking Bad.
Yeah. I should have researched him. I did research him.
Well, you watched the show, so.
I've watched the show. It is kind of research.
Okay. So, did you find it difficult to kind of do it? Because I haven't seen it. Did it have dialogue in it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, we had acting scenes. The acting scenes were about a minute long each.
Okay.
They weren't very long.
So did you find it difficult to express your character through mostly dance, or was it easy for you?
No, I feel like it was easier for me because I'm getting better at dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
I'm learning how to sort of how movements can make people think and.
Okay. How did tutors and peers provide influence to your ideas when you first joined the group?
Right. It was like you can get in shot. Come on. You just need to do the Coke product placement.
Coke today.
Drink Coke, right?
Drink Coke. It's good for you.
What? So
Bloke.
yeah, influence.
Yeah. Rachel helped quite a bit with our piece actually. Because there was a lot of like foot movements that I didn't know how to do.
Yeah. Okay.
And like Tyler helped as well.
So that's tutor and peer.
That's tutor and peer. And Ryan helped as well. His frog dancing in Thumbelina.
Do you think?
Establishment of the evil dance.
So feedback. So feedback after callbacks. Did that help any of? Do you remember any specific kind of anyone saying anything that stuck with you that you used, or
just kind of like not really from this performance,
right? Okay.
but like, you know, I always try my best, you know what I mean? Like I don't.
Yeah. Okay. So
like, even if I'm like
So-
broken and stuff.
so feedback from earlier shows helped you.
Yeah.
Oh, can you?
So, yeah.
Oh, what? Technical difficulties are going on.
What is happening?
Did the computer turn on?
The input directory isn't set up. No, I didn't mean to go here.
Okay, this is weird. Okay, we're back.
We're back. All right.
What were we talking about? He's not in it. What were we talking about? Yeah, okay. So mostly your feedback from peers besides Tyler helping you and
Yeah.
like advice you got from people was mostly from your older shows, you'd say, like that helped
Yeah, sort of like when I'm dancing, but like obviously I didn't come on the course to be a dancer, but it really helps me to realize things like I didn't realize how facial expressions can be so important during dance, and how much like physicality is actually needed.
you. Okay.
Like obviously if you're playing it like that sort of character, you need to stay in it with that sort of physicality, and you need to.
Okay. Yeah.
Do I need to scroll down?
Not yet. Did your planning cover all eventualities?
Sorry, expand on the question.
Like, if you have it, did you plan for any obstacles occurring, like someone dropping out?
We kind of had to plan for that because Matty wasn't turning up on time, so we didn't get as much. So person A.
Person M.
Wait, you know how to say people's names?
No.
Person Matty.
Person.
Well, you already said it now, so just keep it.
Yeah. Was turning up late for like every lesson that we had on Fringe, and was like, just not focusing at all. I get that like me and Mara were practicing our dance a lot, but that was because every other dance had been cemented, and had been.
Okay.
You know, we'd rehearsed it to a point.
So
where
what
we
was
could
your
do it.
plan to cover if Matty had dropped out, or
My guess would be to just cut him out
you would have cut?
fully, like just maybe say like, you know, like we could still use it, but we would only be able to use the scenes where Emily is saying, "Oh, he's become more controlling," but we never actually see Emily's boyfriend. You know what I mean?
Alright, yeah. So, did you manage to complete your project objectives?
I'd say so.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Well, it wasn't really an objective, but I feel like people really got the message we were trying to convey, and the message was like...
Well, that's your personal objective.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So,
we made people cry.
You think
so...
you think you got your message across clear, and that was one of your objectives, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so could you have gone further with the idea concept, with the time you had and stuff still the same if you had joined, say, earlier? Maybe?
If I'd have joined earlier, I think
Yeah.
the Greek dance would have been completely perfect. We did mess up a bit in the final parts of that dance, which really sucked, but yeah.
Right, okay. Any other things you could have done if you were there earlier? Maybe.
I think we could have added like one more dance maybe, and like a bit more. I probably could have like wrote like a script or something for the group.
Okay. Okay. So you think that would have been better than devising?
I think so. I feel like a script would have been loads better than devising.
Why do you think that?
I mean, when you're devising, you don't really think about lines.
The nuances.
Like, you don't think about how deep you can go with something. But if you write in a script, you can really
Okay.
you can really go in depth with what you want to talk about. And
That's true. How did your ideas change, and what influenced you to change once you,
our ideas changed.
if that happened?
Well, we weren't actually planning on doing acting scenes.
Right.
In the beginning. But then we were like, well, people might not get the story if we don't make it a little bit simpler for them.
Okay.
Because we were performing to an audience that don't really
Necessarily.
watch theatre a lot, you know.
So
So we wanted to make sure that they got the message.
So
as
would
well.
you say, in the beginning, it was more abstract and kind of?
Yeah, more abstract, more sort of contemporary, you know, different style. Like, it was more...
Open to interpretation.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Thank you. Open to interpretation.
Okay.
It's a good thing you're good at talking, because I am trash at stuff like this.
I mean, just helping you with words you forget. Were there any technical or logistical issues from a, technical standpoint, from a
I don't...
lighting, sound, anything like that?
Yeah, at the end, the house lights came up.
Oh yeah.
While I was still crying over Mara.
But you covered that.
But yeah, that it kind of worked in a way, I guess. But the performance wasn't over because the lights were still supposed to be down. The spotlight was supposed to follow me up as I carried her onto the stage. We both fall on the floor again, and I'd carry on crying.
Okay. Do you know why that happened? Why that issue?
I guess the communication between us and
Right.
the tech guys wasn't clear enough. So I guess I would probably, if I went back, improve.
The cues.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel you had enough time to design / make or source any props, costumes, that stuff?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We didn't really have that many props. We just sort of, we made our own. But like the rope, we just tied more ropes together to create one big one. I know,
Okay.
it's stupid.
No, that's what you gotta do.
But we just, like some of the piece was because we devised it. It was improvised. A lot of it was improvised.
Well, not the dancing mostly.
Not the dancing, but
acting.
the acting
Yeah.
scenes, the props,
Okay.
stuff we did just seemed to work out, and it just...
Could you scroll down a little bit for a second? Okay, so the final piece now.
Wow, it's really coming down out there.
So, discuss the outcome of the piece in terms of its effectiveness, technical, we'll go through them one at a time. So, the outcome in terms of its effectiveness.
Yeah, we got through to people. People started crying. They got the message, and the message was obviously how people can change and not necessarily for the better. And I think it was something like 7 people walked out crying, which makes me feel like I'd done my job properly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I sort of had a play in making people feel something for my character and Mara's character. So that was good.
Okay.
Technical
qualities.
Technical outcome. The technical outcome was great, completely great.
Besides that hiccup.
Besides the one at like the very end, but even then it's still like we just worked around it.
As far as aesthetic qualities, such as like set design and stuff, do you feel like you could have done more if
I don't really think we wanted to do any set design. We didn't really want to do set
you
design.
didn't
We
want
just kind
to
of
say.
wanted a blank background.
Okay. So
Just so like
so you feel like the aesthetic was fine.
yeah.
Okay.
Sort of like the sunken place out again.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good comparison, actually. The communication to the audience, you felt like they understood after you changed it. You said, like after you added acting scenes and stuff.
Sorry, say that again.
The communication one.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the audience understood? In the final piece, they understood what you were trying to do.
Yeah.
So does it meet the criteria you set for yourself?
Yeah. The criteria I set for myself was be sort of more positive within my
Really? Raining.
It's
Right, can you close some windows, please?
Can I open the windows up?
Don't want you to. Sorry. Yeah.
It is really I didn't even have a
criteria.
storm. Don't close them all though, because it's still boiling.
Criteria.
Thank you.
So did you set a high criteria or low?
It was just sort of for me to get involved as much as I can. Because I'd not joined the group at the start, I felt like I didn't really have a place to say anything, but I still wanted to make the experience enjoyable for people, so I wanted to make sure that I had some influence in sort of which way it went. I'm talking with my hands on to stop. Which way the performance went.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to say about that question, or?
Yeah, I feel like I met my criteria.
So, the feedback you received, how did you respond to it, whether positive or negative? Did you take a lot of it on board and take a little?
No, I took a lot of feedback on board, especially like using my face to like headbutt people. No, I'm just using like facial features, like really sort of like just using my eyes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I always try and apply feedback like as soon as I get it. Like I always think to myself,